It's been a busy day for Frank Lampard and Everton. His first 24 hours in charge, the final day of the transfer window, and it's seen him bring in Donny van de Beek from Manchester United and Dele Alli, according to reports as well, will be making that move from Spurs to Goodison. Do these signings make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Donny van de Beek is certainly a better player than what we've seen at Man United. And listen, he's probably better, no disrespect to Ralph Rangnick, who's just in there. But it's quite a cancerous club at the moment. And I think he is better off out of there for his own career. Lampard, who's just in the door himself, should get a player who's hungry to go and show that he is the player that United signed. He's better than what they have. He'll get game time. I think the Dele Alli one's an interesting one because here we have a player who, there's no doubt, has fallen off the wagon. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't think that's up for debate. 2 or 3 years ago, though, he was looking like one of the most dangerous box-to-box midfielders, arriving late, scoring goals for club and country in Europe. And for whatever reason, that's sort of gone. And he's got this opportunity, and again, he's in the bracket of had to get away. But he's now working for a manager who was himself one of the best goal scorers from midfield in his generation. So it's down to him, is what I'd say. This is a 50-50 fail or succeed. He has the talent. We know he's a natural goal scorer from the middle of the park. It's whether Lampard can get a tune out of him. On the upside, it's not a lot of money to start with. I believe it will increase quite a bit
depending on performance,
with incentive and performances. But again, it improves the players possibly that are there. And I'm not talking about Van de Beek, I'm talking about Dele Alli.
Right.
But again, it comes into the category of this is down to the player. The player has the talent. It's whether the player wants to go to Goodison, pick his wages up and just see his career sort of filter away, or whether he wants to pick it up again and show Tottenham that and Antonio Conte that they were wrong. I hope it's the latter because I think there's a good player in there.
He's only 25, Frank.
Yes, he's only 25, but he showed complete inconsistency. For the past 2 years, and I have doubts, about the fact that he can do something better. Playing for Everton. It's funny that because we've been doing the show, talking about players coming out, coming in, and talking about mainly players who either go somewhere else because the club needs money, but mostly about players, nobody wants anymore. So you go to Everton where you have doubts everywhere, will they stay in the Premier League? So you bring Frank Lampard, who has good experience, of course, who can bring something, but you bring two players who are completely in doubts, who it's like they lost their football. So I don't know if they can, let's say, refresh or reinitialize their qualities, but it seems to be that their qualities have been somewhere, forgotten, and hopefully they're going to come back. But I still have doubts. Everybody will be doubtful about the talent of Dele Alli since, for the past 2 years, because it seemed that he lost them. And I wish him the best, but I have doubts. I have doubts that he can go back to or be back the player that he was.
Let's just remind you how things stand at the bottom of the Premier League. As we end the transfer window, of course, all eyes are on Newcastle, given the new owners and their riches about what they were going to do as they're looking to lift themselves out of the relegation zone. As expected, they've been busy, of course. Donny's still going on about Bruno Guimaraes, who has come in.
No, he's not stopped. He's not stopped tweeting photographs of Frank Lampard today.
Frank Lampard, Chris Wood, of course, signed earlier in the window. Kieran Trippier as well. We've seen Dan Burn confirmed today. Matt Targett as well, making that loan move. Have they done enough for you, Craig? Are these signings going to keep them up?
Yes, I think so. There was also talk about I don't know how much truth in it, was Zapata from Atalanta.
Oh, so it's too late now.
No, I know that.
The window's shut.
All right. The signing from France, is the Brazilian boy, is the one for me. I mean, Matt Targett was a regular at Aston Villa until they signed Lucas Digne. So that was a position Gerrard obviously thought needed improvement, but he's a solid player. So they've got two solid fullbacks. Obviously, Trippier is the better of the two players. Dan Burn's been playing really well for Brighton and has been for quite a while. But in that midfield, the Brazilian, but he's a player.
Right.
He's got, and Jules will know better than me, but he's got a bit of everything. A bit of everything. He's got a great touch. He's aggressive. He defends. He's got a nice eye for a pass. He's what I would call an all-round midfielder. And, you know, to sign a player of that ilk and a position that they're in, I think that's great business. And I think when you add Chris Wood up front, who's a bit of a journeyman, but sometimes you need that kind of player to link off. I think they have done enough in this window. We'll put it one way, they should have done enough.
Right.
And Eddie Howe absolutely has to keep, his reputation is on the line. They've spent money, he's been in there for a fair amount of time now. It looks like it's turning before, it looked like it was turning before these transfers come in. Now I think they've done enough to keep themselves in the Premier League.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.